as Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seen a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next, and went and told the officer that he was up there. And when I went back to my spot, I heard that people could still see the person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer that if he came over there, he could see them. And when I turned my back is when the shots started, and then it took me a second or two to figure out exactly what it was. And then it was just getting out of there and helping some other person out with her child, and we got out, and that was the end of that. And
I'm having a hard time understanding why regular people at this event are doing a much better job at reporting these events and what actually happened than both the media and our own government. I had to take some time away from this incident because I was visibly angry in one of my videos about what was going on, and I was trying to control my emotions. And it wasn't so much about, I've got this undying love and whatever you want to call it towards Trump himself. I really want better for this country. And when you see things happen like this, and we're not going to make assumptions on who did what or why. We do have questions, and I think that they are questions that we need to answer. I think we deserve answers to these questions, because with everything going on, with all of the threats and accusations that have been thrown towards Trump, you can't this is not something you're going to be able to just say, hey, let's move on, or hey, why are you guys getting so hostile about, we've already said that we don't condone political violence. But that is not providing us with the answers. You saying you don't condone political violence doesn't mean that someone in your camp or your establishment wasn't responsible for what happened. And the only way we're going to know is if we get these answers. So anyways, you heard, this is another witness that has come forward to basically say that we informed officers that this guy was on the roof. This particular witness was saying that he was moving from roof to roof. And I'm going to show you a map of the area where the rally took place and where the shooter was located. And I'm going to show you why there's still more questions that we're having as a result, and why there are a lot of reasons to suggest that this story is bigger than just one man, one shooter. So I just wanted to show you this picture, and it'll become apparent, because this is something that they're not talking about. If you notice, you've got two snipers on the roof. If just look at the slant. Can I do this here? Boom. Look at the slant on the roof. You can see how it's going up, and they're basically facing in the direction of where the slant, other side of the slant would be going down. And we're going to show you which direction they were looking in. Now, the other thing to take note of before we move on is that there's a video footage out there of them showing what the snipers were doing at the moment that Trump got shot. They were already looking in this direction, and I believe the sniper actually took his eye off of the scope for a second to see if he saw what he thought he saw, or it could be something else. But then when he just gets ready to put his eye back on the scope, that's when the gunshots fired, and that's when Trump got hit by one of those bullets. But just like I said, just pay attention to that ramp. Now we're going to move over to this map that we have. Now, this is the area where you can see the red rectangle on the right is where the staging area was, where the rally took place. On the left side, that rectangle is where the shooter was located. And if I'm not mistaken, he was actually located on the roof behind the building where they've got that red rectangle located. But here's the thing. If you look, and I can't, right up there above, let me see where my finger disappears. right there, that white building right there, that's where the snipers were located that you just saw in that picture. That's right behind the stage where President Trump was giving his speech. Look at the middle of that building. On the right-hand side is the upslope. So that's where the snipers were located. And if you can remember that picture, so again, we'll show you the picture again. You can see right here that they are looking at something in the direction over the slant. They're looking over there already. So my question, if they're look at the direction they were looking in the picture, they're looking in the direction of where the sniper was. That is a clear white roof. How do you not see the contrast in colors of what the sniper was wearing or what the shooter was wearing with that all white roof, first of all? And then you've got people before the gunshots were fired, multiple people who basically said, hey, we were trying to tell the cops that this guy was on the roof and they couldn't find him. How do you have multiple people that are just looking up and saying he's right there, but the cops can't identify where the shooter is located? And then the other question that I have, and I think this isn't a conspiracy theory. These are real questions that we deserve answers to. If you had multiple people telling you that there was a shooter on the roof with a rifle, and some people are saying it turned out to be an M16. But if you can't find the person, why wouldn't your first instinct be to take the president off the stage? This wasn't one account. You've had multiple people. The Secret Service and the cops, they communicate with each other. Something like, hey, there is a real threat in the area. We're getting multiple sources telling us that there is a shooter on the roof. Remove the president. But they didn't do any of that. So again, and I'm not going to sit up and tell you I know what the answer is. I'm saying that there is enough evidence here to strongly suggest that there is a bigger story than just one person on the roof who miraculously got through the perimeter of the Secret Service. Now, Secret Service, who plans out their strategies for protecting the presidents at any event days before the event itself. So how was this person, a 20-year-old, I believe his name is Thomas Matthew Crooks, how is he able to sneak within that perimeter? And then, of course, if you have a perimeter, how do you not have someone guarding that perimeter? Because one of the witnesses in my previous videos said that they were at the perimeter behind the building in the trees where they could see the gunman. So how are you at a perimeter where you can see the gunman, but there's nobody protecting that perimeter where they can see the gunman too? Now, if you don't want people throwing out this information and believing that the government had something to do, because again, there's no way this could have happened. There's only two ways that this could have happened. A complete failed job by the Secret Service agents themselves, or somebody let that happen. Those are the only two plausible explanations that we have for how something like this could have taken place. And you have to remember, the shooter was only roughly 148 yards. They're saying 130 yards from where the staging area, from where the president was giving his speech. There is no way in the world that those snipers, especially with the information that they had been that they were given, did not see a man sneaking from roof to roof to roof in order to set himself up to have a line of sight to be able to shoot the president. That stuff is supposed to be covered. But just to give the benefit of the doubt, go ahead and please tell me how I'm wrong. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to pretend to be. So if you can give me information based off of what we just showed you, I am more than happy to listen, because that's what we do. We don't just spew off at the mouth and start throwing out accusations and start accusing people of being something that they're not or doing something that they didn't do. I'm going to put out the evidence. I'm going to do the math. I'm going to put the facts out there so that we as a people can come together and provide answers and come to the most logical conclusion for why a certain thing happened. I'm giving you my opinion. There's only two conclusions that we can draw from the information that we have. And if we don't have enough information, then that's why we need our government to be even more transparent with us than they have been in the past. Anyways, food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And if you're enjoying not enjoying, but if you like the information, at least with this, because it's really hard to say if you enjoy the content when the content we're putting out there isn't something meant to be enjoyed. It's just meant for something for you to digest. And if you're digesting that information, that I would really appreciate you hitting the like, subscribe, and follow button so that I can grow this community and provide you with more information, more laughs, more conversations, as soon as I can make that stuff available to you. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Have a good one.